Welcome to the FAQ podcast, frequently asked questions with Fuzzy and Quincy. Make sure you subscribe, comment, like the podcast on YouTube, search FAQ podcast. We're at FAQ podcast on Instagram. You can see it YouTube, Instagram, TuneIn, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, iHeart, and so much more. Fuzz, today,
man,
believe we're gonna bring the streets to the church. We're gonna bring the streets to Detroit. We're gonna bring the streets to Dallas. We have a music icon here today, legend, the incomparable Fred Hammond. How you doing, sir?
I'm good, man. How y'all feel?
Man, this is
feeling good, brother.
This is an honor, man. I mean, the list goes on. I mean, dude, Grammy Award, Stellar Award, like any award, you are the award. Any award to be had, you have won it.
Thank you. That's pretty good, I guess. You know.
Yeah.
You already know what it is.
Yeah,
you already know.
Let me give you a quick something. Like, back when I was in commission, I never forget we were nominated for an award, and we went for a Grammy, and we had outsold everybody in our category, and we were like at about over like 100-something thousand, maybe a couple 100,000 sold at that time, which was great for gospel in a small label. And then there was another person that had a family name. They sold 1,200 records, and we didn't understand it. And we went and we lost. And we had to stand there and clap on the camera like we was glad for that person. And we wasn't. And, just keeping it a buck, we were smiling and glad.
Right.
We just didn't understand it. And then the Lord just told me, he said, you putting too much into these. So at that point in time, I just decided, I said, you know what? If I get something, I'm cool. If not, I'm not going. I don't ever want to feel that again. So
but
when the awards come, they're really, really cool. The day I won a Grammy, I was asleep.
Wow.
They called and woke me up and said, hey, man, you just won. And I said, won what? They said, a Grammy. What you think? I said, man, that's cool in the mud. And they said, what you about to do? You gonna celebrate?
I'm about to go back to sleep.
No, man, I'm going back. Sunday afternoon sleep. You can't mess with that Sunday afternoon sleep.
Yes. So what? So I mean, did you think you weren't gonna win? Were you like, I'm cool?
I forgot I was nominated.
Which album was it for? What was it for?
Free to Worship, back in 2005, 2006. I totally forgot about it. Like I wouldn't have remembered that the show was even on at that day.
Right.
The Grammys is on, and I'll watch it. Like, the Grammys is on.
Yeah.
What's going on? I don't hate it, but I just don't put much stock in it, and that's been a blessing to me because you can get wrapped up in that, man, and it's something else.
Yeah. Hey, Fred, let's start from the beginning, man. I'm a type of guy that has been raised in church, and I know commission was kind of like our feel good, close to secular gospel music that we used to listen to, right?
Yep.
And you understand what I mean by that? Like you guys' music was so pushing the line, but still had a message, but still had knock to it. And how old were you when you first started commission? Like what was going on with that?
I was like 23. 23. I was playing bass with the Winans because they had just come out when I was 19. So I've been playing bass with them for about 3-4 years, and then I saw there was really not going to be any advancement there, and I felt something inside of me to start up my own group. So I learned out there with them.
Really?
And was on the road with them for 3 years. And I brought the knowledge back to the group, and I picked all the guys and said, here's what we're going to do, and here's how we're going to be different.
And y'all was on the same label, right? As the Winans, Light? Were y'all on Light Records?
When we got on that label, they had left. That's one of the reasons why Light picked us.
Oh, because they went to Quest then.
They went to the group,
right?
And then they went to Quest, right? And so they picked us up, and we kind of filled that void.
Wow, got it. That makes sense. And if y'all don't know, Winans and Commission are both from Detroit, which I don't know what the heck is going on in Detroit water.
Everything, it
was the spot, man. It was it was Motown for Motown, and it was a gospel Motown.
Yeah.
Was there an issue, when you told the Winans like, hey, I'm gonna roll out and I'm gonna do my own thing? Was it love, or was it, it was cool? Like, all right, man, Fred, go do your thing. Good luck, and it was straight.
Okay, I'm gonna keep it
Buck.
keep it 1,000.
Yeah.
Okay, I didn't want to leave because we hadn't had no record deal. In 2003, we didn't have a record deal. We didn't get a record deal till 1983. We didn't have a record deal, and so we didn't get Commission didn't get a record deal till 1985.
Mm-hmm.
So I figured I would just stay on board until, something got really, really popping. And some stuff has started going left with some management with Commission back then. And it was a lot of shiftiness going on between a member or so and the management they were trying to take the group from me. And they literally gave me an ultimatum and said, a lot of the guys didn't even know anything about it, but there was a member or two. And the managers, we had 4 managers, and they said, if you don't leave the Winans, we're going to take this group from you and we can do it legally. Now, at 23 years old, I'm thinking that they can because these are all my friends.
Right.
And I had to tell the Winans, and it was the saddest day of my life because I loved the guys.
Yeah.
I wasn't making much money with them, but I loved them, and I loved learning. And I had to tell them, and they were put out by it. They were a little upset, but they understood, and they wrote me a song. They wrote me a really beautiful song to this day, and they said we never wrote another song since you or before you. You made a big impact, but they were upset. They were upset, and they didn't know because I didn't snitch. I didn't say, hey man, they making me do this. I just said I gotta go. So they were mad at me. And then the other situation, so it was rough, man. I mean, it gets gangster in that. I mean, just because we say gospel in the front of it, that don't mean
still business.
Negroes ain't trying to do that business in a different way.
That was my next question. Like, people think, oh, because it's not hip hop. You see rap, you see we've seen the East Coast, West Coast, but they think just because you sing about the Lord, you singing, all these nice things, that it's not, it's not animosity, it's not jealousy, it's not, the same things that happen in
human emotion,
other music. Yeah.
It's human emotion. And everybody has a thought about how things should go. And if you don't do something where it agrees with them, to be on 100 on this side, to give the Commission situation a fair shot. They really thought certain pieces of the puzzle that was telling me to move on was thinking, man, you can't concentrate on this group if you're always with that group. And I wasn't always with that group. It was just, we did weekends, and it was a way to make a living. I didn't have another job. I worked with them, and I wasn't making a lot of money even with that. I was making like $50 a night. So it was just doing 2-3 nights a week, and I needed it. Plus, I was learning, and I was shaking hands and making connections with records.
And the hottest thing in the gospel industry. And
at that time, we was the coldest thing. Nobody knew nothing. We was 2 years from a record deal anywhere. And I didn't see what made sense in that. Like, guys, this management company is not like y'all putting money in our pocket like anything. It's not like y'all y'all don't have a record deal or nothing, and you're telling me to leave something that's solid. And but it was really the Lord just pulling me in and putting me in position and teaching me character. And so I just did it. I went on and did it, and we just hustled. We hustled. At the end of the day. So to give them that, I gave it my full attention, and maybe it would have went longer if I hadn't have done it, but I don't think so. I think it would have been right on time. I think we would have been earlier had I stayed, because I was making connections.
Right.
And they would let me sing every now and then. They tell me to step up to the mic, and I had a bass in my hand, and I step up to the mic and I do a step out, and wow. So I was getting my name out there as well. Like, hey man, I tell everybody after the show, hey, I got a group called Commission. We coming out. Y'all watch. And they just stopped that. So, yeah, it's human emotion, bro. It's regular humans. And not everybody is on the same plane spiritually. You know, not everybody, not all the managers at that time was speaking in tongues, dripping with glory. You know, some of them were just saw business opportunity. Some of them were really, really saved and wanted to help the brotherhood. So it's when you get that mix together and then you're talking money, and then they thought, man, we about to be rich with these guys.
Right.
You know, so.
Yeah. Now you said the Winans wrote you a song.
They wrote a song. They wrote a song for me. I knew they was upset. Carvin, I was probably closer to Carvin Winans in there. Marvin was always so far off spiritually from me. I felt like a heathen, so I ain't say too much around him. We call him Peanut. You know,
Peanut,
so because
yeah.
he gonna ask me, "You been over that girl house?" And I'm not gonna lie, you know.
Yeah,
and so we stay away from him. You know,
he read you.
But he'll get read you, and then he come on back. He said, "No, don't talk to me today. You went over that girl house again." You know, I'm like, man, let's talk about something else. You know, and but me and Carvin was the closest, probably, right. And he was really hurt, man. He was really upset. And then it was another male group. Man, they felt some kind of way, and they didn't know. And but at the end, I thought they were really mad. We did a concert in Chicago, and I told Terry Cummings at that time, he was playing for Milwaukee Bucks, and he came down to the gig. And he came up to me and said, "So I hear this is your last day." And I was like, "Yeah, man." He said, "Well, God's got you, man. Don't worry about it. God's got you." He prayed for me. He's a nice dude. Right. And then when I got in the van, we were on our way back to the hotel for the night. They said, "Man, you know, we are upset, but we love you. And, you know, we just want to say you how we feel." And I probably ain't going to do it because I ain't going to get gangster. I'm going to be like still emotional about it. But he pulled out his little keyboard. We were in the van. And the band members, my bandmates, they were like upset a little bit. They were like, "Man, you got to do what you got to do." And the song, "Farewell, Fred, we miss having you around. Farewell, Fred, we miss having you around." And the whole song was to Finders Keepers. They had a verse and everything. Man, we was all balling except Marvin. Marvin wasn't balling. He wasn't crying.
He a gangster.
He is. But he meant it from his heart. And to this day, if I walk up to him and I say, "Farewell, Fred," he'll just finish it. The whole song, remember it from memory.
What?
Yep.
Wow. Did you ever tell them years later, you know, I mean, of course you're saying it publicly, but when did you tell them years later, you know, why you had to leave?
I ever told them.
Really?
I don't think I ever told. I think I told Cece.
Wow. The sis.
I think I told Cece and Deborah Joy. Me and Deborah were, you know, she's on Greenleaf, and we were at a shoot somewhere. And I think I told her, we were in the van headed back. And this is probably a few years ago. And I told them what had happened. Finally, that's what it was. I don't think I ever told Carvin or any of them. None of them.
Dang.
But it didn't matter because after a while, I was able to do a tribute to Marvin at BMI. I sang "Long Time Coming," and me and him, we had mended. So, you know, by the time I got to Fred and Radical for Christ, he was singing my songs in this church. So now he sees the progress. He sees where I was supposed to go. And we've been family. And like, man, if I hadn't been with you guys to learn the foundation of how I was supposed to be as a man, you know, out there on the road, you know, it wouldn't be no Fred, you know. And so we became friends. I never forget, I was at a appreciation birthday celebration in Detroit, probably 2 years before COVID. And it was, you know, they're twins. Marvin and Carvin are twins. Carvin's older by a few minutes. And everybody, man, the church packed, 3,000 people. And I stood up there and I said, before I sing, I want to give a tribute here. And I said, because of you guys, I was very sincere. I said, because of you guys, man, I'm looking at them. I was able to travel the world. I was able to use my gift. I was able to learn how to be a man and in gospel music. Because of you guys, I was able to travel with the coolest group in the whole wide world. And everybody clapped. And I said, and being with y'all was cool too. Y'all get that later on too, you know. And the whole church cracked up because they knew I was talking about commission. Man, Marvin felt BB loved it. He was hollering. He just loved. He said, "Man, I love when you get them." I said, "Yeah," and y'all was cool too. Travel with y'all was good too. I had no problem with y'all either. So, but man, thank you. I want to appreciate y'all for that.
That's hilarious.
But that's the level of friends we are.
Right.
You know, so he's my big brother, my mentor, and still one of the greatest singers in my mind.
Wow.
To this day. So, you know, I loved all of them.
Man, I know we're going to talk, but you said something that made me want to ask you. You said 2 years before COVID, and I know you had coronavirus. Can you just tell us, I mean, your experience with it? I'm glad you're still here. You're healthy. I know you lost some family members, but just tell us about about your dealing with COVID.
Man, a year before that, we had done the commission reunion. Well, 2019 fall, we were on the commission reunion tour, and I had been sick, really sick for about a year and a half, and didn't know it. And going to the doctors, we couldn't figure out what it was, you know. And I had shortness of breath. I mean, I was bigger, and man, and I just thought, man, this is what a heart attack is going to feel like. And I just pressed through it, but we couldn't find it. The doctors, I take blood tests, nobody could find anything. And finally, after the commission tour was over, I was almost unable to walk from my hotel lobby to my hotel room. And I had one more event left in Detroit at Word of Faith Church on New Year's Eve, and I could not walk from my car to the hotel room. And I had to get an emergency in North Carolina the day before, and I just wanted to make it home. And but my doctor had hit me up and said, "Hey, listen, we found out what it is. It's your thyroid shutting down. Oh. You're not at toxicology. You're not at toxic poison yet, but you're close. But we're going to do something to relieve that." And I had a procedure done in January, right after I got home. About 9 days later, I had an emergency procedure done, and everything got great. So all my numbers went from crazy over the last 12, 15 years to green. Everything I had was green. A1C green, high blood pressure green, cholesterol, everything in there was green. Then that fall, Corona hit.
Oh.
And because everything was green, that's why my doctor says, I believe you survived, because you wouldn't have had we not got that, you would have not made it. Damn. And so God still watches out for a brother. And it wasn't as bad. I'm O positive. She said, also, you guys you're O positive. And, that helps a little bit. And I've had you on vitamin D for the last 7 years. Wow. So I've been taking 5,000 milligrams a day of vitamin D for 7 years, way before Corona, just because I needed it. Right. So I had some breathing issues, and I quarantined for 14 days, and it wasn't as crazy. I had a couple rough nights, but it wasn't as crazy. But my brother, they had to go to the hospital, and my other brother was down for 5 days, and I've lost friends and family members, and so it was rough, man. People that were sitting up there saying it's a hoax, man, they crazy, man. I don't know nobody that died from the bird flu, from swine flu, from any of them flus. And I've known now up to about 30, 40 people who died from this that I know of personally. So this has been very real, you know what I mean?
Yeah. No, I'm glad you pulled through. It's just, you're such an open book, right? Like, you look up Fred Hammond, you'll see all of this stuff. Is it hard going through? I mean, we've all go through hard times, but you're such an open person. Is it hard just sharing all of what you do share with, with your fans and, with the people that, that admire your music?
I think that's the only reason I'm around. Like, that's the reason why people know me. It's not because my singing is whatever it is, or my musician skills is whatever it is that God trusts me to tell other people who might be going through what I'm going through to, hey, listen, hang in there. This is what happened to me, and I made it. Hey, this is the road you should probably take because I took that road and it was bad. Or you will, the sun will shine again. Now I'll give you a scripture that says, as Christ suffered in the flesh, arm yourself likewise. In other words, don't be afraid and ashamed to tell other people. Now I ain't gonna tell everybody everything, but I'm gonna tell people enough because transparency helps. I know some of my friends, they just tell everybody all their business. I'm like, man, you're a fool. I'm not doing that. I'm not telling nobody that, but I still tell enough because you're going to overcome by my testimony. That's what it is. And it doesn't matter if a person is saved or in church, out of church. There's things I've been through and done that can help anybody that got an ear, and I can say, hey, man, this is what happened to me, or this is how I found success, or this is where I failed at. But that's what we're here to do. We're here to help people, man. In the middle of it, yeah. I'm going to make you laugh. I'm going to make you think. I'm going to make you sing, and I'm going to give you some help so that, I can do my part in the community, this human community.
Yeah, I ain't gonna lie, it look like God's shining on you right now if y'all watching on YouTube.
On this side.
Yeah, there you go. Hey, Fred, since we're talking about business and music, it's been a lot of I don't know if you consider people paying tribute to you or jacking your style. And I think one of the most lines I picked up was when Jodeci did the "Your Arms Are Open Wide" line. Am I? You follow me on that?
Oh yeah. That was just tribute.
That was a tribute.
Those are our little brothers: Boyz II Men, Jodeci, Silk, Shy. Man, you name it. Big Bub today. All them guys give us credit for, doing what we do. And that was the cool thing about it, man. That was the cool thing about it, is that those guys were kids when we were coming up. Like when I was with the Winans, we would do some dates with Lil Cedric and the Haley Singers. That was a quartet group where that was Casey and JoJo and his brothers.
Wow.
But they were singing gospel.
And it's on iTunes.
Yeah.
Please believe it.
To be born again. And I remember we were in a radio station, and this was unheard of. And they asked the Winans, are you ever going to go secular? And they're like, oh, no, we'll never even think about it. He said, well, we asked, let me play this clip. And they said, they played it. And Lil said, how was it, 15, 16 at that time? They said, you ever think you're going to go secular? He said, yeah, I think I will. But I'm going to keep doing this for a while with my family. But I think I will. Well, he did.
Oh, he definitely did. Jodeci, there you go.
And Don the Great son is Devontae. And we went to his church, their church in North Carolina, and he's the one that picked us up. And man, he was iced out and everything. Nobody had heard anything. He said, yo, I want to just tell y'all, man, y'all influenced me. If y'all would listen to some of my music, we got this group coming out. It's called Jodeci. And we was like, what's it called? He says, Jodeci. We on MCA. And we just signed, man. It's going to be big. Our record going to be out next year. But, man, we got a lot of stuff from y'all. And he played some stuff for us. We was like, man, I said, you produced that? He said, yeah, man. He said, if you don't mind, I want to do something with y'all. He said, but it's coming out, man. Watch. And I was like, wow, that's pretty cool. So that generation we spoke to.
Yeah, for sure.
We spoke to. So it's all tribute to me. It's like, man, cool. It's not, I don't care jacking, whatever. There's no jacking. It's just, man, listen, go ahead and do it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because it kept us alive to the day.
You brought
that one out. That one right there. You brought that one out. I just posted something like that a little while back ago.
Oh, you did? I didn't see that one. That one. Did you ever contemplate doing secular music?
Yeah.
Yeah.
To pay the bills. Because in the early days of commission, man, we were known. We were making headway, man. We was broke. We was broke. And I had a wife. I had a house. We had a little bitty house, and I had a wife and a daughter. And we couldn't work jobs because we had to try to rehearse and travel. And man, it was like we had 2-3 records out. And man, it wasn't working. I was literally
Really?
broke, man. I was like wondering where we were gonna feed our family. How was I gonna feed my family? Like I got tired of borrowing $30 from friends and looking crazy, but I was doing whatever I had to do because I believed in the gift. Man, I was buying stoves off the street. I was getting stoves off the street. A neighbor say, "I got the stove. You know, you want it?" And here I am with 2, 3 albums out. You know,
What?
and everything, and I'm picking up a stove with a U-Haul. You know, to
Oh
put in my
man.
house so that me and my wife can have food. And the microwave was sparking all over the place.
Oh man.
And we trying to wash it out. And I was getting and this is all while we got records out. And I was getting dryers and washers from around the corner for $50. And you know, I would go get them and buy them for $50, and they work for about 3, 4 months. And then they drive, and I have to go buy another one and another one. And it
Right.
was just, and I was telling my wife, I was like, just believe it's gonna come. I'm just going. She was getting tired, and one night I went to the Studio A, and I told them I needed to do something, you know, more inspirational to make some money.
Mm-hmm.
And I talked to Barry Hankerson, who was the Winans manager. He talked to me.
Wait, you say Barry Hankerson
Aaliyah,
was the Winans manager?
Oh
Aaliyah's
yeah,
uncle.
that was their manager at the
I
time.
never knew that.
First, it was their manager was Derek Dirksen,
Uh-huh.
and he used to manage this group, Chapter 8 with Nita Baker.
Yeah, chapter. Yeah, for
He
sure.
was the
Detroit.
drummer and the manager and the founder of that group. Well, him and the Winans broke up, and then he came to us and said, "I'm gonna make y'all bigger than them." And Barry Hankerson managed the Winans, and so that's what the Quest deal came from, Barry Hankerson. And so all that big stuff was Barry Hankerson. So Barry, we ran into each other somewhere, and he asked, you know, how was you doing? And I was telling him this. I'm thinking about doing a solo album. He said, "Were you thinking about doing like inspirational, like the Winans, or a little crossover?" And I said, "Yeah." He said, "You afraid to sing about love? You know, love is God. God is, you know, in the love to the
Yeah.
man and woman. You know, he's good, good, good." And I said, "Yeah." He said, "Well, why are you doing it?" I said, "Man, I got to feed my family." He said, "I get it." He said, I'll get you a deal. Do me a demo and I'll get you a deal. I'll walk you in the Jive Records tomorrow. Just go get it." So I did the demo.
What
And
were the songs sounding like?
they were inspirational. They had a funk to it. They had a Chucky Booker funk to it. They had a man, because that's my thing is I'm a funk head. I'm an
Thank you.
R&B school dude to this day. So when you hear my music, you hear the heart of R&B. My mom wasn't like that. You know, she was saved and loved God, but she wasn't tripping on me listening to great music. Stevie Wonder, Donny Hathaway,
The greats.
Roberta Flack, Earth, Wind and Fire, and James Cleveland and Andre Crouch. I listen to everything. So when you hear me, I'm an infused body of a little bit of hip hop, R&B, soul music. That's my vibe. So I went on and did the song, and I did it, and it was killing. And Barry was like, "Man, this is nice. This is I'm gonna take it in." And I had such a conviction against it, so I played it for a friend of mine.
Mm-hmm.
His name was Billy Gaines, and I played it in my house, and I let him hear it. He said, "Fred, that's smacking." He said, "What you gonna do about commission?" I said, "I'm gonna keep on going until, you know, whatever, man. But I don't know where I'm gonna get groceries tomorrow, Billy. I don't know where I can't borrow any more money from anybody.
Right.
You know, I'm behind in my bills. I don't know why they didn't come take my car, because I was at least 3 to 4 months behind, and I didn't hide it. I wasn't gonna put it in the alley around the corner with a sheet over it that my cousin out. I left it in the backyard and just said, you know, if they're gonna get it, they're gonna get it." And I had a family, man, and my house was rickety, and I just said, I got to do what it takes to pay bills. And Billy Gaines said something to me. He said, "Fred, that is really, really good, and I understand, and that music is smacking. You are a genius at what you do. Man, you are just as good as anybody out there. Babyface, so and so, so these sounds just as good as them." He said, "But as for me, if I'm in that position, I can't do that, because the world wasn't there for me when I was sick. The world wasn't there for me when I was out there and I didn't have this. The world wasn't there, but Jesus was always there. I
Wow.
put my head. I was standing outside looking up under stars, broke. And I took the demo in the house and I threw it away.
What?
Threw
But
it away.
you end up doing a
You just
project later on, some similar to that though, right?
I did
Later
a love
years.
song album in 2010, but that was because I understood it wasn't a secular record. It was a Christian man talking about love, because Christians is crazy and they be tripping on, like, they act like they can't say nothing, you know, can't sing nothing. I say, if you can call your wife baby, why can't you sing it? Y'all get away from me with that. I'm half of all first time marriages in the church end in divorce. We ain't talking about the street. We talking about the church.
Yeah.
60% of all second time marriages end in divorce, and 70% of all thirds. So y'all going somewhere with that. God told me to do a record about how I feel about love and how I think about my divorce, how I think about dating, how I do it, and it's positive, so that I'm gonna give my Christian folks something to think about. But it was after years of being seasoned, because I didn't care to be Maxwell. I don't want to be Maxwell. I don't want to be Babyface. I wasn't trying to get no attention. I was just doing a record called God, Love, and Romance. That people come up to me to this day because it's sold through the roof.
Yeah, it did.
They come through me today and they say, "Yo, man, that you gonna make another part 2?" I'm like, man, I gave y'all a nice amount, you know.
What's the project?
I threw it away.
So
and I told the people that helped sponsor it, because I couldn't even pay for the demo. I told them, "I'm sorry, I didn't mean to waste your money," you know. But they understood, and they knew, because I was always bringing my records to them to do anyway. And whenever I did a project, I did it there. Anyway, so they were going to make their money back. And I walked away.
Wow.
And but it was funny, because when I made that decision, I got involved with a commercial of a company that made commercials in Detroit called Compo Advertising. And I ended up doing Kmart commercials, black hair care product commercials, Dodge commercials, and it paid more than ever. And I could come home off the road with commission while we're trying to build, not making nothing. I can come home off the road,
doing some jingles,
and I got an income, and I'm doing what I do. I'm in the studio, I'm producing these commercials, and I made crazy money doing that. But I had to make a decision, and I sacrificed it, and I never had to do it.
Wow. So when after you were doing the jingles and you working with this company, when did you get like your first big break on the music side? Like, all right, I got a real check. Like, I don't have to spend, I don't have to get $50 dryers anymore. Like, when did that happen?
Commission started making it through pretty good towards the end of the first set of guys. Me, Michael Brooks, Keith, Mitchell, Carl, and Mike Williams. And Michael Brooks and Keith left. And we had just signed a new contract, and we'd all gotten nice little bonuses. And bonuses for us was $8,000. Like, our signing bonus was $8,000 for us, plus the budget, whatever we can make. So we started making some nice stuff. Then after a while, I left. I had to leave. And when I left, I took a reduction to do RFC. I took a major reduction. No signing bonus, no nothing. They just had me by the short ones. And I had to do a record for them. So I came up with RFC, and the record company didn't believe in it, but it sold.
Radicals
and
for
the next
Christ.
album, Spirit of David, the budget was significant. It bumped up a little bit. And then my signing bonus was better. Then that monster Pages hit. When Pages hit, it was like I was printing money.
Oh,
but this was like starting from 19 years old. Now I'm 37, and now it starts to happen. Yeah. And at that point in time, I could buy my wife a 6,000 square foot crib, folk car garage. She had her little three cars that she had. She had everything she wanted. I had what I wanted. And we was just doing records and making money and traveling. And man, it was good,
Wow. Man, let's talk. Let's talk about. You're open about a lot. You put something on Instagram about. I love your Instagram when you were talking about your
divorce.
Your divorce.
Yeah,
that was hilarious, bro. Comedy. I sent that to Q so fast. Look at this. I said, Fred a nut.
Yeah, man. No, man. I've used all my stuff. People don't know I'm more funny than I am preachy. I'm not preachy. I've never been that dude that, listen, God has told you for such a time as this.
And see, that's why I say I can hang out with Warren Campbell and Nissan. Like, those are my guys.
Those are my guys.
And I'm like,
and when we get together, that's what we do. That's how we sound to each other.
Yeah.
We just regular dudes, man, who just made a choice to follow a different path. That's all.
Yeah. No, let's talk about it. I mean, because you're open about your divorce, and you make jokes. You on your Instagram, if you guys haven't seen, Fred's talking about like how after you were divorced, you were like out in the streets. You were
out there.
You were out in these gospel streets. You know what I'm saying?
I was like, man, I believe that thing, man. That I was told that I was gonna lose everything, and because of my upbringing, I believed it, and I knew I was like, God can't be proud of me, but I know I can't stay in this situation because it's not healthy for me. I've held on. I've done everything I could, and my former wife at the time, she wasn't tripping. She's still one of the most saved people I know, but we had grown so far apart, and I couldn't reel her in anymore. And it wasn't because I was cheating and doing all that crap, and there's nothing that she she understood, but it was just we fell apart, and I could not get it together. And man, the guilt was ridiculous. And so when I left, I finally I'm the one that filed. I said, I can't do it. I'm trying.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm trying. And I can love you from a distance. I make sure you're taken care of. And everybody told me, a lot of people, man, you going down. You going down, bro. Ain't nobody gonna do nothing. So I say, okay, well, here's what it is then. Lord, you know me. You know I'm thinking anyway. So if that's what the case is, I'm not going out like no monk. I'm going out. Because I'm not gonna sit over here in the corner, bobbing and weaving and praying and this, that, and still gonna lose it.
Yeah. Nah.
Tell you what I'm gonna do.
I'm out.
I'm going.
Yeah.
I'm going forward, and it's on you. And I said, I understand. I understand you, Lord. You got to do what you got to do, and I'm not mad at you. I wasn't able to hold it. I wasn't strong enough.
Yeah.
And man, it took about 4 years. And one day I heard the Lord say to me, because I was rehearsing it in my head.
Mm-hmm.
He said, I'm not going to do that.
Wow. So you just made somebody out there get a divorce.
Yeah, man.
Fred, I appreciate that.
Silver lining in a divorce.
You ain't gonna tell everybody that.
Yeah, let me take this ring off. Fred.
Hey, no, don't Q. You in a good relationship. I'm gonna tell you my story. It was funny because my granny would try to pray my relationship back together when I was married. I'm like, this ain't it. So literally, this may sound bad, but once my grandma had passed, I felt like it's time for me to get a divorce. I can go through.
You waited till your grandma died?
Yeah, because she wouldn't. What? I had to hear that mouth. What? I was like, So anyway, I get it, Fred. I do understand. Church folks would try to condemn you, and they ain't even going through what you're going through. They ain't in your household.
Yeah, and it was just, that's where you get attacked. And the biggest thing that I got attacked, and biggest thing that most marriages get attacked is two visions. Two visions. Two visions, if you break it down in the Greek or the Latin, the word is die. D-I meaning two. Vision meaning vision. Die, vision. And a house divided cannot stand. Once you get two visions, your house starts to become divided. So everybody don't just fall out because somebody's sleeping around, or somebody drinking, or somebody go murder somebody. Sometimes it's just simple as you start thinking this way, she starts thinking that way. And the Bible says, when that happens, your house is divided and it cannot stand. I did not write that. My house became in two visions. And you know how you split? It starts here, but after a while, it goes here. And the farther you get away, next thing you're asking the question, how did we get here? And there's no way to get it back. Once the house is divided, it's unbelief, it's mistrust, it's everything else. And that's what the enemy wants. He wants you to be divided. Wow. So that's what happened.
Nah, listen. Fuzz was like, man, nah, Q, I'm gonna tell you what really happened. It was, gospel groupies. was following Fred. I said, Fred's not going to tell us that.
I wish
I
you
would
would.
never. I would never say that.
But Commission definitely had some gospel groupies for sure.
But we weren't that dude. We weren't that dudes. We weren't that dudes like that. Now we had a little game we played called Every Man Loves a Woman's Touch.
What?
You know? Because we understood the G we had. We understood the G that we was carrying. Now we wasn't walking around acting like we was just, wearing these monk robes and walking around. Oh, we understood.
Y'all swaggy.
We understood it.
Yeah, for sure.
So, but we were dedicated and we held us accountable.
Wow.
To each other, And but we had this little game called Every Man Loves a Woman's Touch. And we would add up how many women would touch one of us in some kind of way. And we would help that process along. And you got a point when you hear that word. So I may look and say, you see them jeans Carl got on? Them jeans, they don't feel like nobody else's jeans. And the lady go over there and touch his jeans. And then Kiefer say, yeah, every man loves a woman's touch.
I think this is a safe game I can play. I need to.
That was a point.
I need to go to Vegas and play this game.
You see, and it don't matter if she puts your hand on your shoulder, if she says this, that, and then we just got rough with it. His hair is real wavy, though. It ain't like my hair is all kinky and hard. His hair is crazy soft. She said, let me see. Boom. Yeah, but every man, brother. Every single man. Uh-huh.
Y'all some nice guys.
But just add it up. You just add it up. Okay, who got the most? Well, seemed like old boy won again.
Wow.
I got 30 touches tonight. How much? You had 29. You lying. You had 28.
On, man. You see what them twins
did.
The
goal was not to get the touches. So we were trying to get you to get the touches.
Oh, y'all was just throwing bait out there.
Oh, yeah, we throwing them out. We want you to go get it. We try to, the one with the least amount of touches is the one that won. So, yeah, we were pulling them to them there. They would come up and they'd sit down, put their hand, can I get you anything to drink? Yep, every man, brother. Yeah.
Yo,
he would love some extra coffee. He just do love coffee.
He loved
And we flirted, but
yeah.
we were married, so we wasn't tripping. But we knew that a little flirtation would help our charisma. Well, we wasn't dangerous with it. We wasn't pulling them in and all that.
Y'all wasn't reckless with it.
Nah.
I would have been reckless. I'm sorry.
Yeah, Fuzz he's a very different kind of guy.
Scorpio. I just move different.
Tell us about Sunday Lit, man. Tell us, yeah.
Speak on that,
man. I got a thing I'm getting ready to do, man. I just signed with a new company, man. You guys know JR.
Yeah, that's my brother.
And I had been walking away from labels. I walked away from labels in 2017, and I didn't care for them. They're not transparent. Now streaming is taking in, and none of them was honest. And I saw JR on a Instagram feed, and I was like, "Yo, I like what this young man talking about." And so I hit him. I looked on his page, and he was following me. So I messaged him. I said, "Yo, man, let's talk. Let me see, because I like what you're saying. And because I wasn't pressed to put another record out. I was doing singles, and they were still going to number one. I was all right.
Right.
And
you did your last project was independent, right?
Yeah, the last one and the last like 4 songs I did.
Right.
And they all charted well. The last one was called All Right. It went to number one. And I was, I'm doing all right. I don't like the music business. I don't like the industry. I don't like the labels. I like them less now because they're just not fair.
It's a bad loan.
Yeah, yes, it's horrible, and it's worse now.
Yeah.
At least with our loans before, we could make some money because we could sell physical product, and man, it was good. Now it's horrible.
Yeah, and gospel music don't stream.
If they don't stream them numbers.
Yeah, not yet. I don't know when the turning point's gonna be for gospel or inspiration, but
we believe it's coming. And when I saw JR, I DM'd him and said, "Man, let's talk." And we talked, and he understood what I was saying. I understood what their concept was as a team, and I said, "Man, let's do it." He flew in, we talked, and we charted a path that we're trying to grow. And I signed, and I wasn't going to sign with nobody, but I did, because I believe in what they're doing and the best option. So I created, in order for this thing to happen, this is the age of give it away.
Yeah. Content.
Everything you want to do, the real people, the real players, the companies, is free. Instagram is free. You can post on there for free.
Yeah.
And you can look at it for free. YouTube, look at it for free, post on it for free. Facebook, and it just grows. Let's look at Kanye. When he did his thing, it was free. You could see him for free. You know, you go on Facebook and you can see his choir, see what he's doing, and then it just took off. It's like, man, we want to be a part of that. It's free. D Nice, that's my dog.
Yeah.
D Nice, man, he comes on Club Quarantine free. We all get on there and we talking to each other, man, and we're going through a rough time, and D is killing the room, free. Versus, free.
Yeah.
You know, and I thought, I'm gonna do it for free. I'm gonna do a new record. I'm gonna let people see it for free, and they can listen to it and see it for free, and that'll drive it to
streaming,
the Spotify's and every place that they do, so that then when they're not looking at it, they can listen to it. So JR came and he told me my streaming numbers. That he said, man, since 2017 when streaming started to right now, you have streamed 350 million streams with no new record.
Wow.
He said, Mr. Hammond,
the catalog is crazy.
People waiting for you to do something else.
100.
So that's what made me keep on doing it. So I'm putting this show together, and I'm going in my warehouse. I got a choir, and we're going to get up in there, and I'm taping it, I'm going to film it, and record it live at the same time, record the music live at the same time. And then people will be able to get that experience, of which Sunday Night Lit is going to turn into me allowing other artists that have a little bit different edge to them, younger artists that got that hip hop edge to them, you know, from some cats that can rap to people that have this, but they have a good heart and great message. And
like PJ Morton, BJ the Chicago Kids of the world and all that.
Yep, gotcha. Absolutely. And let them come in and do their thing.
Yeah.
You know, it's what Bobby Jones was big for us. Bobby Jones gospel broke most artists in the world. Commission, really? Fred, Kirk, you know, Donnie, Yolanda. You go on Bobby Jones, you sell records. You know, it was old school. Well, this might be that new thing, you know, where I can present other people and allow them to let their gift be seen. I got 2 million people on my platform, and come on.
You're a network. You are a network.
Amen.
You know,
and you stay connected to a younger generation and stay, you know, with your hand on the pulse.
Who are some?
And that's the same thing with theater and film and everything else that we talk about doing, man. You know.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. Who are some of these younger, you know, gospel cats that you know that you like? I gotta say my boy's name. We did radio together. I love him to death. Jermaine Dolly. That's my boy.
Really?
Yes. That's my guy. That's my guy. But like, who are some of these other guys, you know, other, you know, younger cats that you feel?
Well, you know, everybody younger than me. So, but I mean, Ty is still lighting him up, man.
Yeah.
I still light him up. I think he's leading the way in the way of that sound. But man, there's a whole, you know, from Tasha Cobbs to Travis Green, Jonathan McReynolds to
Jonathan McReynolds.
This new group that comes out. That's out now with Maverick City and the Chandler Moore, man. You watch out for that dude.
Really?
It's a lot of them, man. It's just Crispus, Mel Crispus. I mean, it's a lot of people.
Yeah.
And man, I feel bad sometimes because I'm a little separated from them, and so I'll see them and I won't know them until they say I'm this person. Oh, you did that joint. Oh, okay, cool. You know.
Right.
So it's a lot of stuff going. That's coming out that's really good, and we're going to give people that don't have that opportunity, that are just as talented, that opportunity.
Fred, am I wrong for calling out certain gospel projects that are whack? And then I have inside conversation with people, and I'm like, that's whack. I didn't like it. That production was whack. Like, am I wrong for saying that?
I mean, no, that's opinion. That's what the fact is, man. If we put it out there, it's open for criticism and scrutiny. You know, It is what it is. You know, so I want to answer bad like what it is, but I'm not gonna do that.
But like Four Tenors, your Four Tenors project was A1 to me, and I wish my man Gio Bivens was probably he was EP on that project.
Yeah.
And I wish that would have got more light on it because I thought that was a well produced concept album with you guys. And
yeah, those were my dogs, man. We had a ball doing it, and it was in the middle of that. The record company was quietly being sold.
Oh,
and we got caught in the middle of it.
So they put it out.
Shout out to Gio. Gio really helped put it.
100%.
Gio and Stanley Brown.
Oh, Stanley Brown had something to do with that. I didn't know that. Oh, dope. Yeah, man.
Stanley was my A&R, so we stayed connected.
Wow.
Let's talk about Surviving Williams. I saw you do the video on Instagram about Road Girl and you're doing production as well. Can you tell us a little bit about that?
Man, inside of me, I have so much. Like I want to do my own theater, my own movies. I've done plays that have done really well out in the street. Me and Greg Mathis did a play, man, that we ran the wheels off that mug, made a lot of money with it back in 1999 called Been There, Done That, and it did well. So I'm a theatrical person. I'm a film person. I've been studying film since I was in college. My little 1 year in college stint.
You and Fuzz got a lot of similarities. Fuzz did what junior college was that Fuzz you went to for a couple of weeks?
Oh, man, there you go, man. I went to junior college for recording. It's not.
I went to junior college, Fuzz.
It was West. It was just. I got IC incomplete. Yeah, man. So
I did too, man. I don't think I ever. I ended up playing with the Winans, so that's why I ended up dropping out.
Yeah, see, my thing was I was a sound man in church, so I'm like a front of house live sound guy. So I try to go to school for recording, and I'm like, I'd rather just be hands on.
Use this.
Yeah, I had to go geometry class. It was boring, man. I'm like, bro, this is for the birds. And I was the only black dude in the class.
I was in the history of Michigan. I didn't even like music theory, and I'm a music guy.
You're a music dude,
and I didn't like music theory. Because I didn't see it where I was going. I didn't, I was a church bass player, and we don't read.
Play by ear.
We play by ear, and all the gigs in Detroit were sold up by the studio musicians who could read. So you wasn't getting in there. So I was like, man, I don't see the necessary thing in this, But I did take a film class, the filmmaking 101, and I loved it. But it was bulky and big, the big editing machines and all this stuff. But I was intrigued by it. So I stayed connected. Surviving Williams is basically my own little play sitcom. I did it in my garage, in my warehouse. And if anybody goes to my page, Real Fred H, you can hit on the link, buy a ticket and go check it out. I paid for it myself. And I use it as a tool to just kind of talk to people. I saw Road Girl, Rolanda, on Country Wayne. Yeah. And I said, that's who Sam's wife, my character, that's who she should be like. So I didn't slide in the DM. I walked in there gently and nicely. I just went over and
you just knocked on the door.
I knocked on the door. I said, hey, listen, no funny business, but I'm doing this. And this is what I'm looking at doing. Hit me up if you're interested. And she hit me, and I told her what it was, and she's like, "Yeah, let's go. Let's get out. Let's go." So she's real cool. I'm glad for all of her success, and we got another one we probably getting ready to do. But it's just a story about a family. Me and my family, my primary family is me and her, but we're just like a middle class. We're not the Cosbys, and we're not the Jeffersons, and we're not good times. We're just that middle family that we're really big, and we're going through stuff. The last episode was about our stint with COVID and whatnot. So it's a message, but I enjoy doing it, man. It's a good piece. We're getting ready to do Surviving Williams 3, and I'm thinking now I can take it out on the road. Like I could put a piece together and bring Ro out and bring some other comics out there, do it, and really do it the way we want to do it.
Right. Fred, I'm gonna tell you something that when I had a chance to meet you first time in doing Essence, you came to an event. Majima had a appreciation dinner, right? In New Orleans, right?
Yep. For
and yes, exactly. I was so geeked up to meet you, but I didn't want to do the gospel talk. I was like, Fred, he a real N-word. Like, I'm gonna talk to him about his cars, like, cause he a car dude. Like, and I remember I was like, Hey, dude, like me, you got the same interest. Like, at the time I had a 70 ragtop caddy and a 69 Lincoln coupe, right? But I know you're a real car head. Like right now, I sent my lack off to get an LS swap and get rebuilt and all this, right? So, what is your toy right now?
Man, I just sold about
What?
5 of them. I sold 5 of them. I sold my 64 drop Lincoln Suicide Door. I sold that JFK to a guy in Portland. I sold a 73 Donk Caprice Classic to a guy.
Those are popping right now.
Down here, it was clean. I sold a 71 Chevelle, and I sold two Cutlass, 272 Cutlasses. And now I'm talking to Tasha Cobb. She wants my 64 Rivy with an LS2 in it, and I'm like, that's a lot of car right there, So I'm
that Riviera ain't no joke. That split window in the back, no?
No, it's just it's the GTO body stuff.
The GTO, okay, got it.
Yeah.
Fred, how many cars you have?
Man, you got a what?
Man, I got a bunch in the backyard that are waiting to come in. They're waiting to come in and be redone. But right now, I got left probably got 6 left.
But they all clean though.
Yeah.
Q, they clean.
Yeah.
You don't ride Harleys, do you?
I got a 66 Rivy. That's the one I love, man. I love that mug. And I got a 63 Rivy, candy red. It's getting audio put in it right now. I got a 69 Rivy that I'm gonna probably just let go. I got a 74 Impala in the back waiting to come in. It's got paint and interior now, and I got wheels. I just got to go to do the engine. I love cars, man. I love it. I don't touch them anymore like I used to be able to get under there and paint the engine. I don't do nothing. I got a guy. He's at my shop, and I say, let's get this. Let's change out that. Let's change that. We'll swap an engine in a minute, and he's dope. So really? I just love motorcycles. I'm about to sell one of them. I just customized a Harley, man. I got a big 26 on the front. It's got big bags on the back.
Road Glide?
Huh?
Is it a Road Glide? Is it a Road Glide?
Yes, Glide.
Yeah, Glide.
And I got crazy audio system into it. Somebody just offered me some money for it. I said, yeah, cool. I'm about to freak out a trike.
I got a Can-Am Spider.
Oh, do you? Yeah. This trike is gonna have.
It's a lot of wealthy talk around here.
A lot of wealthy talk, man. But I just love that stuff. Boats, anything that moves, I'm into it. So yeah, we talked at that event.
Yeah, man, sure did. It was
when the New Orleans band kicked in and they were walking through.
Right, you got good memory. It sure did. I was excited to see you there, man. It made my day.
Yeah, because not a lot of people talk about cars.
Nah.
In them situations, and I'm just cool. Some people don't know how to approach me because you don't know how to approach anybody that come out of a bag. You don't know what bag people gonna come out of.
Right.
So I understood. But when people sit down and talk to us, man, we just be chilling,
we gotta come to Dallas and check out this whole compound you got.
Yeah, man, it's 17,000 square feet warehouse. God have been good to us because this shutdown, man, was rough, man. I mean, there's Starbucks, there's restaurants that closed around us, and we're still open, but it wasn't hard, because the day that they announced, the day they said churches are going to be closed for the next 3 months, that day, that moment, $70,000 went out of my economy, walked out, and daily money was just running away from me. And I was like, Lord, I don't know how we're going to make this. I don't know how we're going to make this, man. And a year later, man, we're still standing, and God has just given us grace, and he's paid everything. So I'm like, oh, I'm cool. So let's get it, But yeah, you got to come through, man, and hang out for a minute. 17,000 square feet of warehouse. That's where it's going to happen. We're flipping it today. I'm going to actually do some Instagram stuff tonight with the choir, but we're flipping the room around, getting it ready. And the choir's rehearsing tonight, and we're getting it. It's gonna be something.
Fred, do you get tired of people, or you probably get the commission, like you guys getting back? I know you guys did a reunion tour, you guys did a live album, fire, but like, do people still want another commission project from you guys?
Yeah, a lot of people. I don't get tired of it.
Yeah,
I really wish we could get it together and do it. It's just the Bible says it like this: you can't put new wine in old skins.
What do you mean by that?
Back in the day, they said that because that's where they kept the wine.
Mm-hmm.
So wine expands. So if you have old skins, they have expanded as far as they can go. So when you put new wine in it, it's going to expand it more. And what it says is it'll bust and the wine will be ruined on the floor. And the new concepts of today, streaming, you know, how you have to partner, the way you got to think. Some of the guys are still way in the back thinking 1985. And it gets hard to come together. So we're not mad at each other, but it's like, you know, I'm closest to Marvin Sapp. Me and Marvin are the closest. We live right here, and we both do business in the record business, and we do business in business. So
I love
we
Marvin
don't have to
Sapp,
have
man.
contracts. We don't have to have contracts. We just say, hey, man, how much you gonna make? This is what we're gonna do? Okay, cool. Make it happen. But with others, they're still looking at it the way back in the day.
Oh, the golden days.
You know, how can I get a little bit more? Or you get more than me? It's like, what? What are you talking about? I mean, and that gets hard to do. So we may finish out the commission tour because it was really the best tour I'd been on. And we may finish it out now that, you know, it's opening up and do the West Coast. But we'll see, you know, we'll see.
Wow. Yeah, man. I would love to see that. I would love to see that, man.
Man, I'm going to tell you, 3 hours and nobody leaves. When we walk off that stage, 90% of the people that's in there is asking for more songs.
Wow.
Yeah.
And we just hit you head from the head, bow, from the beginning. We take a little break, and then we come back, bow again. And it's just like, man, we still could do a whole another hour and a half.
Man, so listen, so we may see that. We're hearing that you got something with Snoop and Charlie Wilson coming up. Let's talk about that real quick. Like if you're in the studio with Snoop, we know Snoop is smoking weed. If it's going around rotation and it gets to you, you know, the illustrious Fred Hammond, are you passing it? Are you stepping back?
You know, God made that. You do know that, right?
It's medicinal, man. What are you talking about? From the
but
don't get in trouble.
This is me, man. I've always been the guy that could be around anything and not be in everything.
Right.
And I'm fortunate enough that people have that level of respect.
Yeah.
You know, Snoop is a you know, a lot of people don't know the other side of Snoop's heart, that he is a very respectful guy. 100%. When he's in that presence. Like we were at Essence and he basically gave me his stage to do what I did. And he brought me, the first guy that brought me to Essence to be on the main stage was a rapper.
Crazy.
And he gave me the light and told me, man, I want you to do No Weapon. I want you to do Blessed in the City. Man, I want you and John P. and the Clarksons. He gave us his platform. And after it was over, we had a good conversation. It was brief and quick. He said, man, I just want to tell you, thank you for what you've done for me and this and that. And then he went on into the room. They went on in the room, and I knew to go to my room.
Yeah, right. He went to the upper room.
Their room and everything else. But I understood that. But it's a level of respect that they have. So I can be in a situation and not of the situation. And people respect that. They're like, I'm glad that you can come. You're in the industry. I'm glad you can come, and you're not tripping. But I'm glad more so that I don't see you doing what everybody else is doing.
Yeah, I was glad you jumped on Snoop Dogg's gospel project. I was around Dogg when he was creating it, and like he was telling me all the names and heavy hitters I was coming to the table. I'm like, no, you really doing a real gospel project, like, and people showed up. Yeah,
man, it wasn't no fake stuff. It wasn't light. It wasn't, man. And on my record, man, I think they say Jesus 70 something times. Wow. The man has got a heart, and there's definitely a calling on him, you know, and he's definitely he's conscious of it. And at the end of the day, you know, when it comes down to like smoking weed and stuff like that, man, it is what it is. It ain't, you know, it ain't alcohol. Alcohol is worse than anything else. You know, prescription drugs is crazier than that. Yeah. So at the end of the day, I don't trip on these folks, man. I come in, I love them, I talk to them. That same thing goes for Kanye. I can have a conversation with him, you know, and just be me and he be him. And I'm not judging him. I just stay with this is what we're talking about.
Yeah.
And here, let me encourage you on that. And I just drop a seed and remain friends, because sometimes people just want to know that you're friendly. And that's sometimes as close as you're going to get to God. If somebody was friendly with you and they didn't preach at you, they was just your friend.
Yeah,
and
man.
you knew there's a line, and the lines don't get blurred. Snoop would lose respect for me if I came up talking about, so what is all that,
Right.
God know my heart, what we said earlier. But that's not what's going to happen. And I can sit down with him, man, and just have a good conversation with him. And he's a cool dude, man. And that's just the way I look at it. I'm that dude. So
Right. You and Marvin Sapp cut from the same cloth, I see.
Yeah.
Yeah. I love Marvin Sapp's last project too. So man,
yeah, man.
I want to connect. I need to connect
dog.
with him. I want to connect with him also.
We're the closest of the commission crew.
Okay.
So that's my dog.
Listen, Fred, we gotta come to Dallas. I mean, it seems like it was open. I don't know if you saw that fight that just happened for us. They had like 73,000 in the Cowboy Stadium, man. So yeah. So
what happened?
Joe had it.
Yeah, they had 73 in the for the Canelo fight. 73,000 people.
Because I live next to a manager, a radio station manager, and he hit me up and said, "Yo, man, Jerry got all these people up in here, bro. It's lit, man. People just ready to get out and do this."
Yeah.
Yeah, man. Keep the mask on. Let's be elbow to elbow.
Yeah,
definitely.
That's it.
Well, let's Fred
Hammond, man, thank you, brother,
for your time, man.
This was an honor, bro. You don't have no idea,
huge
man.
honor.
Well, blessing, bro, man. I appreciate you, man, and thank y'all for having me on.
No, thank you, man. FAQ Podcast. Please check out the FAQ Podcast. Subscribe, comment on our podcast, YouTube. Search FAQ Podcast on Instagram. FAQ Podcast. Tell a friend to tell a friend. Yeah. YouTube, Instagram, TuneIn, Spotify, Apple, anywhere. FAQ Podcast. Frequently asked questions with Fuzzy and Quincy. We will see you next time.